Okay, welcome to this kind of, I want to say, mini series. Don't worry, it's not like Shane Dawson mini series where I'm about to unburden my whole soul to you all, but it's a mini series that I've been thinking about in reference to, I don't know, it's like, I think it's 5 or 6 parts, and I'll put them up weekly in reference to the business of being a beauty guru, as the title says. And the reason why this come up, I have been thinking about this for a couple of months in reference to the things we talk about, in reference to what has happened in the beauty community. And, for instance, like, all the drama and things. And we've always discussed how people react to the drama, how it occurs, things like that. And so I thought that, as opposed to just keep talking about it, in these instances, I would do something that would kind of break down my thoughts on all of these things and how they actually work. Now, let me just say this for everybody that is new. I am a small beauty YouTuber. We know this, but one of the things I do is we talk about things from a business perspective, not from the emotional side. And so I wanted to talk about this for every influencer, guru, big or small, because you don't know where you're going to be later on. And let's break down some thoughts in how to prepare yourself. And if you are already on the rise or are a beauty guru and see this, maybe you'll hear something that you might need to know. So welcome to the business of being a beauty guru. I hope you enjoy this little mini series of mine, and please feel free to comment, give me any thoughts you have, share it out if you like. Let this grow organically, however it happens to go. All right, let's get started. All right, so let's get started. Let's talk about personal branding. I put up the definition of it because that is the very first place that we must start as these gurus, influencers, and that goes for anyone who is doing anything on social media or whatever you're doing. If you're a small business or whatever, you are a personal brand. And I think that so often people are forgetting that is exactly what you are. So if you decide to do something like have a YouTube channel, become be on Instagram or Facebook or whatever social media you're using, or whatever, or blogging or whatever, you are now becoming a personal brand. And with that, everything you do must line up with your personal brand. And so often we see that as people grow, they don't quite understand that as a personal brand, you can no longer move like just average Joe. And so that is the biggest issue I find that that we see within these small companies, things like that they don't get, that they are a brand now. As a brand, you are no longer yourself. You are an entity of the world, and you have made that choice. So don't get upset when the expectations of you are a certain way, because now you have put yourself out there. No one made you do it. So now with that being said, then you must take responsibility for the person that you are, the brand that you put out there, and you must be according to your brand. So it is very important to understand that is exactly what you're doing. So if your brand is very authoritative and very informative, then that's what people expect from you. If you are if you're a comedy, whatever, that's what people expect from you. That is your personal brand. But also with that personal brand, understand that there's going to be expectations of you as a person that supersede you as in your public persona, that supersedes your private persona. So my suggestion is for you to decide what your personal brand is, who you are going to be out here in these streets, in these YouTube streets, in this IG world, Facebook, whatever you're using, blogging, however you approach it. You must figure out what that personal brand is going to be, and you must be willing to be that personal brand. understand that what you put out there, people are going to see and they are going to judge you upon it. And you cannot get mad at them because they are judging you. You have given them the right to judge you by doing this. Now, good or bad, that is just the truth of it. So with that happening, then you have to decide, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to approach this? And you cannot move like average Joe. You cannot snap off. You cannot pop off. You have to, your responses must be thought out. They must be thought out in all of the situations that happen. If someone comes at you irritated, that's wrong and ignorant, you can't just pop off, because you have to look at how it's going to affect your brand as a whole, which is you. You cannot, too often these small companies, these brands that are personality driven, these influencers, these gurus get upset and want to act like they're talking to just somebody next to them and going off, when actually you are now on a public platform and everybody sees you, and you cannot pull back what you have out there once you've put it out there. So here's what I'm going to tell you, and learn this lesson well. Look at what has happened with so many people in the past, Manny MUA, Laura Lee, all of these people, and scrub your social media. Get into the depths of your social media, because at one point you were probably just regular Joe, average citizen, not even thinking about it, hanging out, saying whatever you wanted to. And now you are not just that person anymore. So now you have to look at everything that you have out there and make sure before, and I'm saying to do this now. If you're a small influencer, I'm saying doing it right now before anybody looks for you, before anybody's thinking about you, before anything could even come up about. Go through your social media and check it for the buzzwords that will get people look for. Look for use of profanity that could be, look for profanity that could be offensive. Look for offensive words. Look for offensive statements. Search your stuff and scrub it. Now, does that make you a better person? No, but it makes you a covered person. And understand that you do not know how your personal brand is going to go. You might think that, I'm going to be this small person, no one's going to really look at you, and you could blow up tomorrow. And all of a sudden you are under a scrutiny, and then you have not taken care of this, and now it's coming back to bite you. As so many people have found out, not just from the beauty industry, Kevin Hart with his issues, why he had to step down from the Oscars, hosting the Oscars, things like that. You must look at the things that you have said and make sure you get rid of them. And going forward, think about before you post something. Think about before you, put something out there. Think about, is this the look, the feel of who I am as a brand that I want to put out there? Now, understand there has to be some authenticity to your brand. It has to be authentically you. Don't try to be me. Don't try to be Tati. Don't try to be J Star. Try to be the best you that you can be as you are branding yourself. But make sure that it rings true. That's the number. You need to make sure your brand rings true to who you are, because you must be able to sustain this brand going forward. The thing that you cannot do is change your brand, who you are as a personal brand all the time. Now, of course, there is room for change. There's room for growth. There are things like that. But the essence of your personal brand must work off of your personality, the core of you, how you think, how you look at life, whatever the genre is, it has to come forth from who you are. And that is what makes a good personal brand. But also with your personal brand, remember that is what you are now. That you can no longer, listen to me clearly, you can no longer pop off like a private citizen. You must temper your words. You must think before you say something. If you need to have a person that you show to, look, I'm about to say this to this person. Should I do it? What should I do? I have always had somebody like that. Ever since I started doing anything and I put myself in the public eye. Even as a business owner, you're putting yourself in the public eye. So you must make sure that you are seen in the way that you want to be seen. Because once you put it out there, I promise y'all, we all know this, you cannot take it back. So think about those things as you go forward on your personal brand. So here are my tips. And listen, we know that I am not this business guru. I am not this person who sits around here and can say that I have gotten all these people and started their brands. What I'm telling you is just common sense things that I know from a common sense business standpoint. So what I want you to do right now, if you are doing anything that puts you out there in the public eye, I want you to look at what you're putting out there. I want you to really look at yourself holistically. Are you putting out there what is this the person? Is this what you want to put out there as your brand? And that can include, do you want to be seen as this heavy drinker, a party person? Do you want to be seen more holistically? And it has to be who you are. Do not try to create a brand around something that you cannot sustain as a person. So it has to be authentic and organic to you, because it has to be sustainable. And if you notice the big brands, those are sustainable for those people because those are truly who they are. And some of them, of course, and even for the good or the bad, that is who they are. And people enjoy those people for the good or the bad. So you must make sure that it works authentically with who you are and what you can sustain. And also then the next thing you must look at in your personal brand is everything around you, including how you deal with relationships, including how you do all kinds of things. You want to make sure that all kind of flows and you make sense of it. It doesn't have to be perfect, because we are not perfect people and no one expects you to be perfect, but they want you to be true to who you are. Like for instance, I will tell anybody, you'll never see me talking about being a vegan or a true vegetarian. And I have my reasons for it. They are health reasons for me, but also I just happen to like cheese. Okay. I just happen to like cheese. Okay. And it must be you must have a personableness about you, if that's a word. You must be personable in who you are. You want to make sure that it feels right for you, it's comfortable for you, and it is sustainable for you. So I want you to start thinking about who you are as a person and what you would want to put out as your personal brand. And while you're doing that, make sure that you clean up things and make sure that nothing that could come back to bite you in the ass is out there. Because let's be honest, we all have said stupid things. We have all been not the most PC people. We all have had those moments in our past. And if you haven't, God bless you, I'm happy for you. But almost everybody has said something ignorant and stupid and they shouldn't have said on social media. So make sure that you take the time to look through your social media and make sure that there is nothing there that could harm you later on and be detrimental to your brand as going forward. So make sure you do that. All right, so this I think is it for what I wanted to talk about personal brand and personal branding. Now, next up, there will be the next part of the series will be coming up next week. I guess I'll be doing it this day every day. I'm posting up, I guess, on Monday. So every Monday we'll have this coming up. Let me know your thoughts on this. Do you want me to keep doing this? Let me know how you think about this whole series I'm working on. All right, so for everybody, it's time to look at the business of being a beauty guru, a beauty influencer,